tour today, and then we're going to be back in the morning, bright and early, getting started, I believe, at 8:30. I'm going to have a full day. Hopefully we get out about 2:30, 2:40 tomorrow afternoon, give everybody an opportunity to get on the road and get back to their homes. Thank you all for driving down. I know we have some members still on the way. We'll get started. I'm going to ask Chairman Beach if you would introduce their speaker.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. And before I do that, I did want to introduce one of my colleagues. Where did Tyler Harper, Senator Tyler Harper. Senator, thank you for having such a district. Thank you for what you did. We'll say a few words about your district.
Yeah, I can do that. Well, first off, to the members of the commission, welcome to welcome to Waycross, welcome to Wake County, welcome to Southeast Georgia, best Senate district other than one other's. The best Senate district in South Georgia. How about that? Is that okay, Brandon? If I say it that way? Okay. All right. No, it is I have a wonderful district here in South Georgia, and obviously freight logistics are very important. What we do in rural Georgia, transportation in rural Georgia is about moving products, and transportation in Metro Georgia is about moving people, more so than not in rural Georgia. So we appreciate you being in South Georgia. We appreciate you taking the time to look at these issues that we face in rural Georgia, and I appreciate Chairman Tanner and Chairman Beach for their time and their efforts that they're doing and putting the work into this. So welcome to the 7th Senate District, welcome to Waycross and Wake County. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stay with y'all this afternoon. I'll be with you in the morning due to other obligations that I have, but I at least wanted to swing by and say hello and tell you welcome to the district that I so proudly represent, living in the Golden Dome, this county along with 9 others. So I serve a very large district in the General Assembly, but thank you, Brandon, for giving me a few minutes, and glad to have you all in Southeast Georgia, so appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator. I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I also want to echo what Chairman Beach did. We've got the local state house member, Daniel Chad, here from the Georgia House, represents this area, and appreciate him, appreciate his advocacy for his community around freight logistics, and give him an opportunity to say his couple of words.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate you, the commission coming down to Waycross and handling these important issues. They are very intimate to our district, and I really just appreciate the work you guys are doing. I'm looking forward to hearing from the Airport Authority tonight and then tomorrow. I really appreciate you guys coming down to Waycross, Georgia. Usually Senator Harper backs cleanup for me because I'm the new guy, but I'm following up for him. That's hard to do. But again, thank you guys for coming. These are important issues to our district, and I appreciate you doing it right here in the home of the largest rail yard east of the Mississippi, and that's what it is. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And for those of you that heard me speak before, I always talk about economic development, and I always talk about we have 3 economic engines in our state: Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, Port of Savannah, and 2 million square feet of convention space at the World Congress Center with a dome that goes with the Super Bowl, called the Mercedes Dome. So those are all economic engines for our state. But one of the ones that we're really proud of and that really makes our economy go is Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. So I'd like to ask John Selden to come up and tell us a little bit about what's going on in the airport and from a freight logistics standpoint. I know that we want to do everything we can to help you grow freight.
I'm going to come down. I'll come down. Just gotta get my clicker. Whoops. Chairman Beach and Chairman Tanner and Council President Moore, thank you so much for this opportunity to come down here and speak with you all today. Chelsea gave me an hour. I'll try not to speak that long. Thank you, Chelsea. But talk about Hartsfield-Jackson and where we are and where we're going is very exciting, very positive. We have some really great partners in our airlines, in our federal partners, and it's really a well-oiled machine that is tremendously positive in an economic activity point. And our focus of the airport is really, it's not a profit center. We gross around $550 million. We cost about $450 million. We take that $100 million that's left. Okay, here we go. Sorry. And we reinvest it right back into the facility. All the money that's made at Hartsfield-Jackson has to be kept on the airport for the maintenance and operation of that facility. And we are one of the few airports in the country that is not highly leveraged. We don't have much debt because we are so successful at keeping our debt down and our costs down. We have this incredible low cost of doing business. Even though it's this magnificent facility, when you look at it overall, it's very Hello? Oh, there we go. I got it back. Okay, so I work for the mayor of the city of Atlanta. Outstanding organizational structure for anybody who works at, say, Home Depot. Having access to the CEO or the boss, and when you need to get something done, boom, you can get a decision. It's truly what makes us so, one of the things that makes us so efficient and so responsive as we go forward. So I work for the mayor under the gauze of city council. They're also in my chain, and we have a great business model, which I'm going to share with you today. But most of all, I'm going to assume that everybody in this room has flown out of Hartsfield-Jackson. So I'm going to talk like we're not all newcomers to the airport. I might use some names or changes. So the big part is, since we're not highly leveraged, and we have this tremendous passenger traffic, it allows us to do a lot of things really, really well, because passenger traffic generates revenue. Therefore, we can make our cargo business almost free. My background is I'm a former Navy pilot. I spent 20 years active duty in the Navy flying. I then became an American Airlines pilot. Got incredibly bored with that, and about 14 years ago, I started in this airport management business, and I'm at Hartsfield-Jackson about 14 months now. So what I'm here to tell you is that most airports, when it comes to cargo, like my old airport, I came from Kennedy, I was the deputy at Kennedy, there's 10%. I mean, not only do we charge rent for the buildings, we get 10% of your gross as a cargo handler. Hartsfield-Jackson, we don't do any of that, we just get ground rent. And trust me, a ground rent in Atlanta is much cheaper than ground rent in New York City. Even though New York Kennedy has double the cargo that Atlanta has, and Chicago has triple, and the other big airports are the two FedEx, Memphis and Louisville. So that's where we stand. But the organizational structure, we stand alone as an enterprise fund, and it's managed that way, and it keeps us very efficient because we don't have a lot of overhead. So real quick about the facility, 4,700 acres, 7.1 million square feet of terminal, 5 beautiful parallel runways, 7 concourses, 152 domestic gates, 40 international gates. We are the world's busiest airport for the 21st year in a row. We have 110 million passengers. We'll have this year maybe 111. We have 2,700 flights a day, 900,000 flights a year. Tremendous operation. We're also the world's most efficient, and I'll get into the efficiency here shortly, for the 16th year in a row. Our budget between operating capital is somewhere around $1.3 billion. And we reach 80% of the country in a 2-hour flight. 80% of the population of the United States in a 2-hour flight. We have 30,000 parking spaces. Thank you very much. It's one of our revenue streams. And in the face of that, we have 25,000 Ubers a day. which is growing, which is another problem when it comes to parking, because some Georgians are not parking anymore, they're taking Uber, so we'll have to work on that a little bit. Yes, sir.
Where's the new hotel going?
I don't think, does this have a laser pointer? Yes. Right there. Right in that circle. That's it. It's going right. Those, matter of fact, those 1,800 spaces are already gone.
How many rooms is that?
550 rooms. And I'll get to that in a second.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So we're really efficient, and we're efficient for one reason. Those 5 runways, thank you, the state of Georgia. Beautiful weather. Look at it outside. Light winds, clear skies. No crosswind. We do not have a crosswind runway. Most airports, if you look, they have crosswind runways. So we have 5 all going in the same direction. Hartsfield-Jackson operates in banks. There's an arrival bank. Those planes come in, they go to a gate, they fill up, and then they go to a departure bank. 200, there it is. 200 flights leave. So you have this amazing situation where you're going to have 3 departure runways and 2 arrival runways, and then 3 arrival runways and 2 departure runways. So you flip back and forth for the 5 runways. I think the mic is done. I'll keep trying. So we have these 5 runways, no crossing traffic. What else makes Hartsfield-Jackson so efficient is airspace. So the closest airport to Hartsfield-Jackson is Charlotte. How about this? Okay. So the closest airport, Charlotte, 220 miles away. I think it's the antenna block. 220 miles away. An airplane at 35,000 feet glides 3 miles per 1,000 feet. So at 105 miles away, the captain will pull the throttles to idle, and he'll glide on in and make a turn, or if he's coming from LA, probably just straight on in. Most airports that you go into, Dallas has Hobby, Chicago has Midway, LAX has 4 other airports all around it, Kennedy, Newark, LaGuardia, Philadelphia, Washington. All those other airports cause airplanes to do this and level off. When you're going down and the pilot needs to level off, he takes the throttles, pushes the throttles up, and dollar bills are going out the back of that exhaust. Okay, that's really all it is. This efficiency of having this magnificent airspace for 200 miles around Hartsfield-Jackson is just incredible, and it is incredibly profitable for the airlines. That's why we have so much air traffic. Okay, we also have a plane train in the bottom of the building, so you can connect in 45 minutes. Delta will bring it down sometimes to 40. Southwest will too. But that train down there is an amazing piece of engineering that keeps everything humming for connecting flights. And about 65% of our passengers connect. And the other thing is, if you go to Denver, the airport's 40 miles from the city. This is a 10-minute ride to downtown Atlanta, no traffic. Or you can take the MARTA right from the building. You'll be there for $2.50. It's just a great location, great weather, great airspace, great runway design. Because also, remember, when you land, where's the concourse? It's right in the middle. I'm sure some of you have orbited around Kennedy or Dallas or Miami or some of these other airports where you taxi around for 20 minutes. At Hartsfield-Jackson, you land within 8 or 9 minutes, you're at your gate. It really is an amazing feat. So last year we were at 107.3 million. I think we're going to be up very close to 111 million passengers. The big number is in 2018, you can see our growth international on the top was 3.8%, domestic was 3.3%. In 17, that was due to the power outage. You see the little dip there, we were shut down for the day. That explains that. But the big thing is, in 2014 in Atlanta, Hartsfield-Jackson had 30 million passengers that were origination and destination. That bodes really well for the economics of the region and the state. Those are people coming to Georgia that are doing business in Georgia, visiting in Georgia, live in Georgia, going to the convention center, going to the SEC championship game. Whatever they're doing, they're coming in and out of our front door. 4 years later, we're at 40 million. That's huge. That's 10 million more visitors or people moving here or people doing business in the state of Georgia. Huge numbers. Tremendous growth in our O&D, which is causing some of our problems at the TSA checkpoint, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The other thing is we expect to grow at 3 to 4 million for the next 3-4 years. Delta is replacing all of their MD-80 aircraft that were built in the 80s that hold 145 people with A321s that hold 195. All of their old 767s are being replaced with A330s and A350s. So we're not really going up in that much in flights. We're growing at about 1% in flights, which is 9,000 a year. But the planes are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the gauge flight's carrying 50 more people. So as they phase these airplanes in, they're going to fill them. They're full now. They're going to fill whatever you can get. And we're going to keep growing as they change out their fleet. And oh, by the way, Southwest may be buying some new A321s. We'll see. That was in the paper today. Spirit is buying bigger planes. JetBlue is bringing bigger planes. Everybody is bringing bigger planes to Hartsfield-Jackson. And very shortly, you're not going to see any of the regional jets. There's only going to be a few of them left. And I'll show you a picture of the brand new A220 that Delta procured. We also do a little bit of cargo, 700,000 metric tons of cargo a year. And that is impressive, considering the airlines haven't focused on it. And we'll talk about that when we get to the cargo side. But the closest airport domestically is LAX at 88 million people. So this is the beauty of Hartsfield-Jackson. This is the cost that the airport charges Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, and all of our terminals. We add up all of our costs, divided by all the departing passengers, and that's called the cost per in-plane passenger. So when Delta puts you in a seat, the airport is generating just under $5. We recover our costs at the airport as part of our business model. So that is impressive. The only other airport that's cheaper in the United States is Charlotte, but they have a very intense capital program which is driving their debt up, the debt service is in that number. Remember I told you we operated about 450 million? That is divided by the departure. That's what that works out to be. So our costs are incredibly low. And let's just take, why does everybody want to fly to Hartsfield-Jackson? So we have a hub at Hartsfield-Jackson. Let's just take Boston. Boston's $15 per plane passenger. If Delta decides to move the hub there, Delta enplanes 44 million people at Hartsfield-Jackson. That's how many departure people they have. Do the math, 44 times 10. That's $440 million just by operating out of Hartsfield-Jackson compared to Boston. And the two at the end, those things are going through the roof. So it's very expensive in New York. Our competition, this is what we are competing for. So what you see is what the goal is, how do we stay this competitive in the market? Our focus at Hartsfield-Jackson and at the city is to keep those costs as low as we can, because that enables airlines to make profits, and airline profits are what drive lift. And lift drives passengers and can drive cargo. And that's the key, is making our airport as efficient from a fuel perspective and from a dollar perspective. That really is the goal of what we do. So because we're so cheap, we have this. We have 139 US destinations, all served nonstop from Hartsfield-Jackson, plus we have 79 international destinations. So the more flights you get, or the more airlines you get, and the more passengers you get, you drive this. And because we're so profitable for airlines to operate out of, trust me, we have people wanting gates like you cannot believe. JetBlue actually took us to court to get a gate, and they have one, but we'll see what they get when we finish building out our next 5. So we have this huge 218 destination airport, 7 miles from a city that's incredibly efficient. Wow, no wonder we have 110 million passengers and 700,000 tons of cargo. But because of that, we got this. You have all these Fortune 500 companies in Atlanta. You have all these companies in the region, Kia, Hyundai, all these places are in Georgia. That access to the world, where the airlines want to be, and they want to be in Georgia, weather, costs, great location. And by the way, the airport is as far west as Detroit. So it's further north than a lot of people think. So it's really a great location to have your commercial headquarters. And we think these numbers are just gonna grow. So our economic impact for Hartsfield-Jackson, just for Atlanta, is 40 billion. There's 63,000 people working there right now at the airport. And for the state, we're looking at 66 billion in economic activity somehow related to the airport, whether it's cargo, jobs, e-commerce, whatever it is. It's related to the airport throughout the state, and actually we now spread into Florida, Alabama, and South Carolina. Say again? Annual. That's annual, yes. So 205,000 jobs around Atlanta and 383,000 jobs by the airport for the state. Just an enormous economic engine. And it's cargo, trucking, Uber, Lyft, you name it, cleaning, food, just goes on and on and on and on. So what's up ahead, considering we're gonna grow another 4 million passengers? We gotta get started. So we're looking at it, and we truly believe we're gonna see 4% growth in passengers and probably 1% growth in the number of flights. And we have gate capacity to deal with it. So the first thing we did is we just finished our Canopy, a $320 million project that is great for the customer experience, because customer experience drives a lot of what airlines want. They want their customers that are paying this money to have a good experience. Obviously, the other day it was pouring rain. People were very happy for the Canopy when you come on in. A very nice architectural piece, and we're just finishing up our punch list. We also replaced the runway 27 left, 9 right, the whole keel of it in 45 days. 37,000 yards of concrete. We did an amazing job, opened a day early. Just a great job by the team to do this. And improves resiliency. These concrete runways last 40 years. And we're working on ours as we speak. We also, parking, as the chairman was saying, we're losing parking spaces. This is going to open in January 2020. This is just on the outside. This is Sullivan Road. This was a $23 million project. It's 1,800 spaces, covered spaces for your cars. Take a quick bus ride in. Capacity, revenue, and customer experience. We also are finishing off the refurbishing of our vestibules. That's going to be done in 2020. We got 2 more to go. And that's $133 million. That's, again, a nice customer experience when you come in. And we're building this Park ATL. This is right next to the GICC, the convention center. It's our train station halfway to the rental car center. That's a 5,800 parking space garage. You will drive in and you will drive out. You will have Beach Pass, or we're going to read your license plate. You can pay with your app. And if you don't pay, we're going to send you a bill in the mail. And if you don't pay that, the next time you show up to park, when you drive out, the gate's not going to go up. And some gentleman with sneakers and a sweatsuit's going to come out with his little iPad and go, "Ma'am, you owe us $120 from the last time you were here. You owe us another $100. Would you like to pay?" And I think you'd say yes if you want to get out. So we're going to make it all high tech. No more cards, card readers, the whole thing. It's going to get you from the furthest part of that deck to the terminal in 12 minutes, between walking, moving sidewalks, and the train. So we're really excited about that. And this is one of our competitive pieces. We're going to do dynamic pricing, where the price will go down as the lot gets empty. We're going to try to compete with Uber and Lyft and still provide a great experience for our customers. I talked about 4 million people coming, and that O&D number, that origination and destination number growing. As that grows, more people have to go through the checkpoint. We are already started. By next Thanksgiving, we'll have 5 more lanes on the south side, and you're probably going to see some kind of all pre-check down there, and then the north side eventually we'll build out if we have to, but these 5 lanes will absolutely help us for next holiday season. When you put 4 million more people through something, or at least 1.5 million, we also have a $50 million project to build more escalators and elevators, because there's more wheelchairs, there's society's getting a little older. We need to make sure we provide what we can and make everybody's experience the best we can. $170 million de-icing pad we're building over on the South Cargo side. That's going to be done also by the winter of 2020, towards December. That's going to allow for numerous airplanes to be de-iced. Right now, when the icing conditions in Hartsfield-Jackson, the airport comes to about 20 departures an hour instead of 100. This will get us back up to probably around 50 to 60 departures an hour with de-icing capability and get it away from the terminal, which is great, so airplanes can fly. Again, we're building a case for efficiency, capacity, and growth. And this is for resiliency. So to get the people and fix the traffic in front of the building, we're building these pedestrian bridges, 4 of them. They'll be done by 2021, $55 million, and that will prevent you from taking a crosswalk across the ramp level, and it'll put you above, which will enable us to handle a lot more traffic because we won't have all these pedestrians crossing the street. So that's coming soon, and we have one is up. We're going to make our plane train, the Achilles heel, as I call it, of the airport, is because of all this connecting traffic, and you're going to add even more people year after year after year, we got to speed this train up and make it bigger. So for another $280 million, we're going to put 14 new cars, and we're going to make it go from 108 seconds to 90 seconds with a different turnaround at the end. So this will give us 20% capacity, with really not doing too much to it except adding trains. So we're excited about that. And finally, from an efficiency point of view, we have one of these already on our pair of 8 left and right runways. This is going on round 9 left. So when you land on runway 27 left, you'll land, keep taxiing, loop around, and go back into the terminal, which is the terminal complex is up in this area. And you'll land on this runway, keep going, and just loop around. This is a departure runway. And again, we're going to lose another 3,000 parking spaces when we do this. And finally, in 2023, we're already in work on this. This is a $330 million project. We're going to build 5 gates on the north end of T concourse, where you see United, and American will come off concourse D, and United and American will share concourse D. All of their flights will be out of concourse D. So that's 5 more gates, and that's where JetBlue wants some of those gates on D, like everybody else. So that helps us with resiliency, capacity, and efficiency. There it is. German Beach. This is the new hotel, 550 rooms. We're building a 50,000 square feet office building, a 1,200 parking space garage. We're waiting to break ground, hopefully in February. And we're excited about this project. It's a public-private partnership. We're doing some enabling work, but there's a Majestic Carter is going to build this for us, and then Hilton is going to operate it for us. So we're excited about this. This will be a very short walk from the terminal to the building. It'll have conference space, all kinds of things in it, a great restaurant. So this will be going on soon, and we think spring of 2023. So all these projects, hold on, I think there's more. There it is. The 6th runway. Right now, we have 2,700 flights a day. As I will tell you, we can get up to about 3,400 flights a day. Hartsfield-Jackson is the least delayed airport, one of the big airports in the country, and the reason for that is we have 5 runways. And if you do the math, 40 flights an hour right per runway, you can easily get up to 3,600 flights a day on our runways, and that's 18 hours a day. So we're at 2,700. We have a whole bunch of capacity left, but we're going to start looking at that probably at the 1% growth in flights. By our lease at 945,000 flights a year, we have to start an EIS to start that. So we think about 3-4 years. So this again is just an opportunity for expansion, for growth, to support the businesses that are coming. And the cost of that is going to be well over $1 billion. A runway is very, very expensive. But the real reason I came here today is to talk about this. Does anybody know what that is? I know Dave does. So this is, if you're boarding an airplane, these are bolted to the terminal where the gates are. So this tells you that the Boston flight 1274 Delta leaves at 15:05, we're an hour away, and it's telling you got 182 passengers on board. How many bags? Nothing. You got 73 bags. Gotta love the bag fees. What an opportunity for belly cargo. Huge. 2,700 flights a day that are empty, pretty much. Amazing lift capacity in that airplane, that A321 sitting there, to go. 73 bags is probably that much space. That belly of that airplane is empty. And they're realizing that there's tremendous lift at Hartsfield-Jackson. If you can get it to Hartsfield-Jackson, it's going to be everywhere in the country within 3.5 hours, even on the West Coast. So this baggage fees, because that airplane's built to take probably 300 bags, is huge. So cargo. Cargo is where we're going. Oops, wrong button. So the role of cargo at Hartsfield-Jackson I touched on earlier, but really it's to create jobs and growth. It's not a profit center for us. It really is an economic engine for us to fill in blanks in our schedule and our time. Hartsfield-Jackson at 11 o'clock at night is very quiet, about 12, unless it's thunderstorms. Between there and 5 a.m., that should be all cargo freighters coming in out of Hartsfield-Jackson. That's what should be coming, and we're working on it. That's what should be coming. We have plenty of capacity to do that. So it aligns with our vision, which is economic growth for the region. Cargo is huge for us. Just think of the jobs it creates when you bring in tons of cargo. It's amazing. And it does support our efforts in Georgia for investment and expand industry and promote trade. And anybody knows if you need a high-value part, you're flying it in from far away if you need to get it there. And it will be there quickly. So it supports our highway system, amazing highway system that sits right around Hartsfield-Jackson. It supports air to truck, occasionally air to rail, and very rarely air to ship, because some of the things you fly in really are not that big compared to what can go on a ship. And we know we get a lot of parts from the Kia plant for sure. So when I was at Kennedy, a couple of the cargo people that I know came up to me and said, I hear you're going to Hartsfield-Jackson. And I said, yeah. And they said, it's a great airport, except for one thing. And I said, well, what's that? And they said this. There was no system in place. If you had cargo on a plane, the truck driver couldn't see where it was, didn't know when it was going to be at the warehouse, when it was going to clear customs, when it was going to be processed through the building, and the truck drivers would sit there for 6 or 8 hours. Totally unproductive. So last week, we opened up, for the first time, the cargo carriers. We got them all together, and they are financing a system called Kaylee. It's an electronic cargo community platform. So what happens is they can log in, you can see where your cargo is from the airplane all the way through, whether it clears customs. It puts e-shipping documents in place for the system. And we look like this. So everybody can see off the platform what it is, and it's improved efficiency dramatically. Already within the first week, we don't have all these trucks sitting around the airport waiting for a load. So this system is in its first week, and we are excited about it. And we think we've straightened out the mess, because this was driving people crazy. Without a standardized cargo platform to figure out where everything was and what needed to be done. Just think if you needed a customs agent to come out. He's not coming out till it's out on the ramp, which means it's going to take him 20 minutes to get out there. Now they know exactly where it is, when it's ready, and everything's done through this platform. Really an amazing system, Kaylee. So, it's a little cut off, but we're really focused on Europe, Latin America, and Asia. We have a lot of lift to Europe. We have Heathrow, we have Amsterdam. We just signed an agreement with Amsterdam. Amsterdam has 40 gates at their airport, but they do double the cargo. So we need to learn from them, and they have the same Kaylee system that we now have. So we want to be able to talk with them going back and forth. Tremendous opportunity in Europe. Asia, 30% of our cargo comes out of Asia, and It's just a market that we have to tap into. We do not have any cargo freighters or flights into mainland China. So we need to work on that. That's a place for opportunity, and we are working on that. But we do have Seoul, Tokyo, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Taipei, and Osaka. And they're really just killing it now with e-commerce. We're business is growing at double digits. So we're doing really good. And finally, Delta bought a very large share of Lamtan Airline, which is a South American airline. And we think that's going to create some opportunities for us to do some air cargo down into South America. And we already have flights into Sao Paulo, Bogota, let's see where else, Santiago and Buenos Aires, but we don't have any freighters yet. In the Middle East, we only have flights to Doha and Istanbul. I think there's opportunity, and we do have a freighter that goes to Dubai. I think there's some opportunity to do some work with the Middle East for some cargo, and we think that market will continue to grow. So growing our business is key, and we need collaboration. We need the City of Atlanta's International Affairs Airport, the Georgia Department of Economic Development, and the Metro Chamber all help us in that regard. And finally, from a logistics planning, GDOT, the Atlanta Regional Council, and the ATL Aerotropolis, which is the surrounding area around the airport. We're all working together to continue to grow this business. And to grow this business, we just signed a lease with Worldwide Freight Services. This was a building that was built in 2016 that was vacant since we bought it. And now we just signed the deal, and the lease will be signed in January for a 120,000 foot warehouse. And it also has 2,500 square foot refrigeration for pharmaceuticals in it. So we're excited about that. And that's just the first building we have going. The next building is we have a public-private venture going out this week for 65 acres of property in the South Cargo area. We're looking for somebody to build a 300,000 square foot warehouse. It can park 6, 747, 800s on the ramp. And we expect this to be built by 2022. There's a lot of interest in this now in Atlanta because of a couple things. That one. We landed Amazon Prime 2 months ago. So when Mayor Bottoms interviewed me, she said to me, hey, John, yeah, we got a lot of people, we got a great airport. Where are we weak? What can we do better? And I said, Mayor, you have 2,700 flights a day, and those bellies are empty, and we need to get some e-commerce going. So we landed this. We're going to have 3 flights this month. We have 6, going to 6 flights by next summer. We believe Amazon will find how profitable it is because it's so economical to operate out of Hartsfield-Jackson that this is only going to grow. This is huge. This is what you want to put in the bellies of those airplanes, is e-commerce. You can fill them up and get them wherever you want to go. I know when I order something, I want it that day or the next day, right? That's what you want. You can do it out of Hartsfield-Jackson anywhere in the United States. It's going. So this is huge for us. And finally, we want to move cargo at 600 miles per hour. That's really the speed we want to go. We have a great highway system. We have great weather. We have land for expansion on and off the airport. We have cargo space for cargo freighters. We also have funding. We have the money to build what we need to do to grow the cargo business. And we're looking for people to invest with us, and that's why we're doing public-private venture now going forward. We'll see how this one works out, and we'll see where we keep going. But this is key to us, and this is a huge revenue stream for the state of Georgia and for the city of Atlanta. That is the brand new A220 Airbus, which is made by Bombardier, by the way, that will be replacing all of the 40-seat airplanes, 15 40-seat airplanes out there. We'll still have a few. And if you didn't notice, this week, Delta announced they added 35% capacity, seating capacity, and some extra flights to Albany, Brunswick, Columbus, and Valdosta. So sometimes you have a frequency of 5 times a day. So Delta is connecting the rest of the state. And we think that's key to growing our business, because if it's going into Hartsfield-Jackson and it needs to get down here, well, maybe you'll fly it to Brunswick. I don't know where it'll go. But hopefully that this is really connecting the state of Georgia to Hartsfield Jackson in a way that really is unprecedented. So it's really an exciting time, and we look forward to keep going and doing bigger and better things. And in the future, you're probably going to see some more gates on the south T-concourse, because if they're on the T-concourse, people don't take train. They don't have to take the train if they're OMD. So we want to keep as many people off the train as we can. We're also going to make our concourses much bigger, and our partners, with our airline partners, are ready to go, because the bigger planes need more seating, more restrooms, more concessions, and bigger gates. So to keep that gate number up, we got to make the concourses bigger. And finally, we have an RFI that's going to be out this week, and it's for 300 acres around the airport for property development. Some of it will be probably picked up by cargo warehouses or other businesses, and it's just great for the region and great for Hartsfield Jackson to have this much going on at the same time. And I think I'm going to play a little video if Chelsea can make it happen. This video is what we made for the convention center.
You know how vital accessibility is when selecting a meeting location. Accessibility has a huge impact on your ability to drive attendance. With 80% of the country's population less than a 2-hour flight away, Atlanta is one of the most accessible cities in the US. We truly are America's destination city, with more flights from more locations coming into Atlanta than any other airport. And with meetings often being a last-minute decision for attendees, Atlanta makes smart business sense, providing unrivaled airlift and more flight options, making it much easier for your target audience to become attendees. You may already know Atlanta is home to the country's busiest airport, but it's also #1 in the world. While we're known for our domestic lift, we also make international travel a breeze, with more than 75 non-stop destinations around the globe. Atlanta's international terminal operates 40 gates of its own. The main terminal at Hartsfield Jackson is undergoing architectural and aesthetic improvements that are making the airport more appealing than ever before. And when it comes to driving regional attendance to your event, Atlanta boasts a metro population of over 6 million people, by far the largest in the region, and has long been recognized as the hub of the Southeast, better positioned to drive attendance than other cities in the South. And while Atlanta is a distinctly southern city, it's a little farther north and a little farther west than you might realize. We're about as close to Ohio as we are to Florida, and to St. Louis as to Washington, D.C., helping you drive attendance from large regions of the country. So no matter where you're coming from or how you travel, Atlanta is the choice for accessibility.
So if you take meeting and make cargo, same thing. Bring the airplane, brings the lift. And it's really the reason that we are so successful is all those reasons of geography, cost, location, weather, efficiency. So it's a great place, and we are ready to drive cargo, and we're in that business already. I think that's it. I'll take some questions if you have any.
I appreciate the presentation. I also appreciate you bringing up the fact that Delta is now connecting more flights around the state. I think, as we've talked a lot in the Senate and the House about how to drive business in South Georgia specifically, in the rural parts of our state, having that air connectivity back to the major airport is important. So we appreciate Delta doing that. One of the questions I had was when you're talking about cargo, because as we went around the state, we talked about the increase in freight, the increase in cargo on rail, roads. It creates a lot of problems. It's going to require some solutions. It sounds like some of the things you're looking at may be one part of that solution. Is that that's to move more freight by air? And Hartsfield's got some opportunities, it sounds like, to do that. Do you coordinate that process at the airport level, or does each airline enter into contractual agreements with Amazon, for instance? Is that the Delta contract, or is that a contract with the airport? How does that work?
So it depends on what it is. So with Amazon right now, they're not flying their tail, their own airplane. We're contracting that with Atlas So Delta will make an agreement with Amazon to move so much cargo, or it'll just show up and they'll put it on the flight. So they coordinate through it. So the airport is there to facilitate the buildings and making sure we have the capacity, the runways, that everything open, the icing facilities for the airplanes. But as of the deals that are made, it's not made with us.
One other question, and I'll give it to Chairman Beach. Think about if there's things that we as a state can do. I know you've got a great partnership with GDOT, you've got a great partnership with the ARC, and I know Gerald and Aaron Chairman Beach and I had a great opportunity to spend some time with him, traveling around, looking at different transportation options to connect his business community with the airport. But if there's anything we can do to help support these efforts, let us know if there's any ideas or suggestions.
I think marketing the state of Georgia is really where we need to go. And I know Dave and the chamber do some things, but selling how great we are, most people don't understand. They don't know. And when we tell them how good we are and how cost effective we are and how connected we are, all of a sudden they get interested. It was very similar when we were talking to Amsterdam, and they're a big cargo, and they're big into New York, and New York is just a nightmare to get the stuff out of there. So now they're looking to do business with us. So it's the marketing of the airport, our great capacity, and our ability to grow and handle it without delay.
You know, I saw in that one picture, Amazon's in the trucking business. Do you think they will get their own fleet and get into the air cargo business at one time?
Yeah, they're going to be flying their own tails. They have their own 767s. They're old, but they have their own fleet.
You know, I know Louisville's kind of UPS headquarters, Memphis is FedEx.
Bring it on!
Do we have a chance to go after that and kind of be Amazon kind of?
I'm hoping when we put that public-private venture out for
Yeah.
300,000 square feet and 6 parking spaces, and whether they're there or some subsidiary are there or somebody they got to deal with, I'm hoping that's who bids it, who gets that property.
And if that were to happen, that doesn't hurt our passenger business at all. That goes out at night at different times. So,
Or it'll go in the bellies of the airplanes.
okay.
Yeah, no, we have, remember, we have so much airfield capacity, even with just with 5 runways that we're not using, that if we added another 200 flights a day, you wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't even notice it.
But I know I've asked you this question before, but just for the rest of the group, I know you said we're not ready for a 6 runway because we can take 200 more flights and whatnot. But I do know it probably takes years and years of environmental studies and so on. So when is the trigger point where you start really saying, we better start thinking about a 6 runway because we're going to need it in 8 years or 6 years? Or what's the trigger point?
So it's 945,000. When we get to 945,000 flights a year, we're at 905,000 now. And if you do the math, 9,000 flights a year, 1% growth, maybe 2%. So in about 5 years, I think we're going to start any environmental impact statement, which will put us somewhere around 1,100 flights a day by the time we get it built, at the rate we're going.
And how long will that environmental study?
I think
6 years?
Yeah, 3 to 5 years at least. It depends on the communities that are around the airport, and it definitely is going to be a different noise signature off the airport. So we'll have to deal with all that and take the normal requirements we do with soundproofing or whatever we need to do to fix the communities to make sure we do that.
Do we have the property for the 6 runway?
We have the property, we have some property that is in the clearway of the runway where there's buildings, but they're aware that they're in that, but we have the property we need to do it right now. And as a matter of fact, we just started at 100,000. We started some planning to figure out where it's going to actually, we know kind of where it's going to sit. We just don't know east or west yet where it is. And we have to see what the demand is actually. If it's going to be long enough, or do we need to go across the highway again or something like that. Like the 5th runway goes across 285.
Your federal partners, moving more cargo, moving more freight, moving more passengers requires custom agents, requires TSA. You have a good relationship with them. You think they're prepared to support that increased growth?
So TSA, absolutely. TSA, hands down, focus Atlanta, one of their top airports. They're very supportive of us. They believe technology is going to fix the checkpoints. With CAT scanners, you're just gonna keep walking, facial recognition. They have a whole bunch of programs that they think they're gonna be able to handle the increased growth and demand. And they're gonna have to hire some people too. As we build lanes, they're gonna need to staff them. But their whole goal is productivity through that lane and getting more and more people screened faster and actually not screening the people that they don't need to screen, like pre-check or those kinds of people, moving them along much faster also. So I think we're in a good place with TSA. Unfortunately for customs, their demand is all over the country, some on the border and other places. So they're a little bit harder to work with when I say that, because their focus is not just, the airport, or their focus actually is, they have to screen all the cargo and they have to screen the passengers coming through, and they're just having staffing issues. I mean, we had some real bad problems earlier in the year with a long line to get through customs. We worked with a whole bunch of people. We kind of got that resolved, but it's still a little long. I mean, there's some days it's over an hour to get through customs, which I think is a little long. We have plenty of infrastructure, booths and screening checkpoints. Customs is just having a hard time getting the staff. It's hard to hire a customs agent. The background checks are really tough. It takes over a year to make an agent. So it's not a quick fix for customs, where TSA is 6 weeks, and they send them down here for school, and you get them out pretty quick. So customs is tough, and anything you guys can help. Anybody can have a contact with Customs and Border Protection. They're very willing to meet with you. They're telling you we're going to be hiring all these people. I mean, they're trying to address their problems. It's just a slow process for them.
Thank you. Any other questions?
John, how much of the gate capacity is Delta?
Delta's got about 140 of the 193 gates. And the domestic ones, they have on they kind of rent from us, but the international ones they use are like a priority, so other people can go on them. We just have to work it out, but they have about 140 of the gates.
Any other questions?
What percentage of your cargo is international?
About 50% of our cargo is international. 30% is coming from either going or coming from Asia. So it's really a big number going to Asia.
One thing just to think about on Asia, I noticed that you didn't mention you had any Southeast Asia locations. And given everything that's going on right now with trade in China and the tariffs, a lot of manufacturers are moving from China to Southeast Asia. So just something to think about.
And we'll work with our cargo freighter companies. We have 14 of them that fly there. They're going to go where the money is in the business and find us. And they can fly from Cambodia or Vietnam or wherever they need to get to and still make it to Hartsfield, Jackson. So it's well within range going over the pole.
John, the building that,
Welcome to the club.
the building at South Cargo has been empty since 2016.
Why has it been empty? And you mentioned pharmaceutical, the refrigerator. Is it a ground handler that's coming in that building?
Worldwide Freight Services is coming in.
That will be competing with?
They already won. They competed against 7. They competed against Donata, Worldwide Freight Services, Swissport, and they won it. And the building was built in 2016, and the airport built it. And if you ask me, airports shouldn't build cargo buildings. You should let cargo handlers build cargo buildings. So it took us a while to get it to a point where the cargo business was so strong at Hartsfield Jackson, where Worldwide Freight's going to come in and modify about $10 million worth of the building. And we built that into the deal for them to make it a building that in 2020 is going to be viable for them.
Let me bring you the mic. The reason we worry about these mics is we do have a lot of folks that watch electronically, and they are not able to hear us if we're not speaking into the mics.
John, you were surrounded by 75, 85, and 285. You're kind of hemmed in, and that's good and bad, I'm sure, from your perspective. But if you're looking at bringing more freight in to move out, that freight's got to come in on trucks. It's got to come in on either 18-wheelers or box trucks. Do you have the capacity to move box trucks to keep them from intermingling with the passenger traffic? create problems there.
Yeah, so we have the, let's see, I can't go back. But the cargo areas are on the north side of the airport and they're on the south side of the airport. And most of the traffic is coming from the east and the west. So we really do have capacity there. But I think you're going to see a lot of cargo development off the airport, the warehouses and things. I think that's really where you're going to see the big trucks loaded up, I think. We'll have some on the airport as much as we can. And the highways do hem us in, but it's a good scenario because it's quick access right on the highway. And there is, we always talk about a rail link to the port and the train that comes out of Savannah and goes to the port. I hope someday we figure out a way to move cargo that way. That's something that we need to work together with the port and figure out a way to get the cargo on the train. And if we need to get it on the port or the cargo coming out of the port broken down into things we can put onto the plane, even if it's CEUs, bring them up, break them down in a warehouse, and then bring the cargo up to the airport. So we have some opportunities we need to explore for cargo, and you exploit the port, which is being so successful.
So I think the commissioner for the Georgia DOT isn't here today, but it's probably worth asking if all of your cargo expansion plans are in his 5-year plan that he's laid out, and whether or not there are any additional interchanges needed or things to carry the freight.
It's definitely got to be collaborative.
Representative Rutledge's area in Henry County is really growing from a warehouse perspective because we've heard several times that you can drive tractor trailer to the port, unload your cargo, and get back to your warehouse within your driving time. So it sounds like what's going to happen with your plans for cargo around the airport. You're going to expand cargo warehouses are going to locate around the airport, which is going to create a need for additional interchanges, et cetera. So we need to make sure, like I said, that the commission is aware of all your future plans. Yes.
John, thank you for being with us today. Some of the things that we hear from our businesses and other groups that we interface with have to do with coordination. One of the comments I get from time to time is, gosh, especially if you don't use the airport all the time, could we get earlier signage on the interstates to direct us? If you're going international, you're going to that terminal, domestic, are the parking lots full or are they open? Those sorts of things. So I guess the question has to do with the communication channels that you have in place with GDOT, with your partners, GDOT, MARTA, logistics companies, 3PLs, business organizations. Are those channels robust enough for there to be a feedback loop to help you respond or help? You can't put up new signs farther away from the airport. You need help to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a really good relationship with, I have a good relationship with the commissioner. He'll be here, like I said, tomorrow. But when you go to our app, you can see what the parking lots are at before you leave your zone. We just installed a system called Zobus, which is going to tell you at home, should you go to the north, the main, or the south. It will tell you within the minute of what the wait time is at each checkpoint, and it'll be on your phone as you drive up to the airport. You will know, and maybe I'll park up north because there's a north checkpoint. There's no wait, so we have this to tell you what the wait times are. So we think technology will help with that information. Personally, when I first came down from New York and driving to somewhere that just said international, I said to myself, I'm glad I know English and I know where I'm going, but where's the airport? Which way am I going? Usually they have Hartsville Jackson, but our signs here say international, domestic, everybody's very used to it. But signage is important, and as we grow, we need to make sure we have the right signage far enough away from the airport to make sure everybody knows where they're going. Again, that's a customer experience we need to work on. Everybody's really good at Hartsville Jackson if you've been there twice, but if it's your first time there, it's intimidating place. So that's why you see signage and customer service people and all the things we have to try to make you feel more comfortable and help you get where you need to go. And working with our partners all along the way. We have a command center where we have interfaces. Like if if there's an accident on 85 or 75, I mean, one of the approaches, we know it, we're talking to GDOT, we know when it's going to be cleared. We talk to our airlines, we say, hey, you know, if you have a bunch of customers coming at 75 South is closed, you're going to have a problem. So we know all this, we coordinate it within the airport and our command center. But as of working together to enhance the growth and the capabilities, you're right, there's some opportunities there to.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Just curious what you learned with your Uber statement from LAX.
I learned how not to do it. It's very funny because Keith, who's the ops manager at LAX, and I know the CEO of Deborah Clinton, he came to Kennedy, and we had the Ubers all fenced in, we had some rules, and he wanted to see what we were doing. And I said, no matter what you do not put people on a bus to get to an Uber. And I guess their traffic just got so bad that they put people on a bus to get your Uber. It's sitting in the market. It's not the expectation you want for your customers. And when you have, figure, you have 80,000 people coming in and out of your front door, and 25,000 are taking Uber or Lyft. You really don't want to make their life miserable. You just don't want to make their life miserable. You have to embrace the future, and we have a really good plan of where we're going to put them eventually. And we're going to fix the walk, and we're going to do some things. But it's something that I can't forecast the future. I don't know if our parking garages will be empty because everybody has a self-driving car in 10 years. But it's an interesting problem, and we're trying to get really smart people in the room to tell us what the future is going to be for transportation, because every Uber, instead of you parking, is 4 trips. Instead of being 2, it's now 4 car, because the car comes, drops you off, it leaves, and comes back, picks you up. Whereas if you park, it's just in and out. So our traffic is doubling in front of the building and on the highways because of Uber and Lyft making all those trips. So as that number grows, and oh, by the way, it's growing at 30% year after year. I mean, 30% per year, year after year. So it's really growing, and we need to embrace it. We need to figure out a way to manage it better and make sure we have the capacity in the places we need to make the experience worthwhile, because nobody wants to miss a flight. And you don't want your cargo stuck on the road for sure, and miss that flight to Salt, that's for sure.
Any other questions from the commission?
Can I ask a question that's not cargo related? Sure. Okay. From time to time, I'll see Greyhound at the north on the underside.
Bus
Can you
stop.
talk a little bit about interfacing with bus? I know Groom, I think probably serves
Yeah,
so that helps the whole state. Talk about that connectivity that you provide for the rest of the state.
So there's regional, let's just start with the regional shuttles, the Groom regional shuttles. We have, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them at the curb at any given, almost all day, every day. And they are going as far as they can go. We support them, we charge them very little, minuscule fees for a permit, and we enable that business to thrive, and the customers are there, they love it, they get a good ride, because an Uber from far away is tough if you're 50, 60 miles out of town. It's much like a regional shuttle. And Greyhound has its bus stop at the international terminal. So people have found that, and you check in and go on your way. So it is another method to support connectivity besides the extra flights Delta and some of the smaller airlines are flying to us.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
John, thanks for being here, thanks for your leadership, and I did want to just make a comment. During the Super Bowl, y'all did a fantastic job. I mean, we got so many, no complaints, and a lot of them praise about how the Super Bowl went, and how you did a great job at the airport.
Thank you, Senator. And I will say this real quick. If LA won, it would have even been better. Because we were ready at 11:30 at night to handle the crowd. And 80% of the crowd at Mercedes-Benz stadiums were Boston fans. And we thought if New England lost, they'd all head right to the airport. And we had all the TSA lines open, all the restaurants ready to go. And unfortunately, the Rams lost. And we had like 2 plane loads of people from LA show up. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, stand by, they all came. But we were ready both ways, and thank you very much for those kind remarks.
Well, the Saints should have been in the game. All right, where do we head next? We're going on the tour, and we need to try to carpool if possible. Is that true? This is Craig? He's over there waiting. Oh, okay. So you know where we're going? Okay. All right, we got the address. And so, members and sponsors only, okay? And then we have a reception for members and sponsors only and a dinner. Okay? Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you all.